After Jaguar Wright exposed Beyonce and Jay Z to be monsters and to be in cahoots with Diddy, they threatened her with legal action for lying, but it turns out she was telling the truth. Now, Jaguar Wright was one of Jay Z's backup artists on Unplugged on MTV. Now, in an interview with Piers Morgan in October 2024, she accused Jay Z of being involved in similar infamous activities like Diddy, saying his wife Beyonce was a partner in those. Not only that, but she claimed that Jay Z's actions were worse than Diddy's. She said, "For 4 years, I've been screaming not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay Z are monsters, and the victim-making machine kept going on." She also added, "He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water, while he sneaks away without a response." Now, she also alleged that Jay Z and his wife Beyonce were involved in bad practices, including people against their will and even engaging in questionable activities. Wright further claimed that she had 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony on not what only Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple, they do nasty things, keeping people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane unconscious, she said. Later though, Piers Morgan apologized for what she said. He said, "Jaguar unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have." He added, "Their lawyers contacted us to say those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly on a show called Uncensored, but like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theater, there are legal limits on us too, and we apologize to Jay Z and Beyonce." But it seems like Jaguar was actually right. Well, there's an accuser that says she was a victim of both Jay Z and Diddy. In October, a case was brought against Diddy from a Jane Doe about an incident that happened at one of his parties. Now, the suit also claimed that 2 other celebrities were involved in the incident, a male and female celebrity, and since October, people have speculating who these 2 celebrities could be, but one has officially been announced. It was Jay Z, as the suit was refiled in December, and it included his name. Now, the lawsuit says in the year 2000, a friend dropped Jane Doe off at the VMAs at Radio City Music Hall. She didn't have a ticket, so she approached various limousine drivers to try to gain access to the show or even just an after party. One driver, the lawsuit says, told her that he worked for Diddy and that she fit what Diddy was looking for. He then invited her to a party after the show and told her to return to his car later in the evening after he transported Diddy and Jay Z. Later, the driver picked her up, and after 20 minutes they arrived at a white house with a U-shaped driveway. She then had to sign a document she believed was a non-disclosure agreement on arrival to enter the party, which the suit says was filled with celebrities. She then said while there she was offered a drink that made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down. So she went into a room to rest. Shortly afterwards, the suit says Diddy and Jay Z entered the room, with Diddy saying, "You are ready to party." That's when she alleges she was taken advantage of by both men, while an unnamed female celebrity watched. Now, after the alleged incident, the suit says that she grabbed her clothes and left. She made her way to a gas station where she called her father. Now, this accuser is seeking unspecified damages, but of course Jay Z is denying this, but he does have a past with acting pretty creepy towards women. I mean, Jay Z and Beyonce's relationship is full of red flags. It seems like the couple can't decide how old Bey was when they met, as she might have been too young, and Jay Z could have broken the law. I mean, anytime in an interview where they're asked about when they first met, Jay Z always looks extremely uncomfortable, like he knows that he's done something wrong. And in the past, he has, as he's admitted to cheating on Beyonce. And I mean, who cheats on Beyonce? That's absolutely crazy. Now, in the year 2016, Beyonce announced it to the world on her album Lemonade. Then a year later, Jay Z released one of his albums and confirmed it, later in an interview with T, the New York Times style magazine. Jay Z said the pain he experienced in the past led him to make poor decisions. You have to survive, and when you go into survival mode, what happens? You shut down all emotions. So even with women, you're gonna shut down emotionally so you can't connect. In my case, like, it's deep, and then all the things happen from there. Infidelity, the rap mogul said. The hardest thing is seeing the pain on someone's face that you caused and then having to deal with it yourself. Now, the couple eventually had to go to therapy to help their relationship, but it's been said that their daughter helped them with their marriage. If it wasn't for Blue Ivy, they might not be together, a source told People in 2017. It was very rough for them to stay married. It took Beyonce a long time to trust again. She was struggling to move on and forgive, but keeping her family together was very important. What's shocking is Beyonce and Jay Z almost divorced once before though. They were trying to figure out a way to split without divorcing, a source told Page 6 in 2014 when they were gearing up for their joint On the Run tour. There are no rings if you hadn't noticed. After a while, Jay was outdoing Jay and Bey was outdoing Bey. Now this makes sense as Beyonce's sister Solange attacked Jay Z in an elevator in 2014, which was rumored to be because he was cheating on Beyonce. Now afterwards, the family put out a statement saying Jay and Solange each assume their share of responsibility for what has occurred. The May 2014 statement read, "They both acknowledged their role in this private matter that has played out in the public. They both have apologized to each other and we have moved forward as a united family. At the end of the day, families have problems and we're no different. We love each other and above all else, we are family. We've put this behind us and hope everyone else will do the same." But a lot of people didn't believe this. Now there's also the fact that this couple are super overprotective and possessive over each other. Actor Tiffany Haddish shared a story with Uncensored in 2018 of seeing Beyonce's jealousy firsthand. I was talking to Jay Z for a little bit and there was another actress that was there who was also talking to Jay Z, she explained. The actress touched Jay Z's chest and Beyonce came watching up like, "B," but she didn't say that. But her demeanor, her body from the way she walked up to them said, "Get your hands off my man's chest." Then there's Jay Z not liking when Beyonce works with men. In 2003, Beyonce released the song Baby Boy featuring Sean Paul. Now it was a huge song, but it was only performed live 3 times. Now that year, Jay Z reportedly banned Sean Paul from performing the song with Beyonce at the VMAs. Now Beyonce performed it, but Sean was in the crowd. Now Beyonce and Sean didn't even film the music video together, as it's been reported that Jay Z didn't want other men around her. And you know, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, as in an interview, Bun B, who worked with Beyonce on Check On It, revealed that Jay Z called during the video shoot and told all the men to leave the set. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things coming out about the couple, and I'm sure even more will come out.
If you are not yet aware, Jay Z put out an album called 444. In it, he gives advice and his thoughts and feelings on many things, and in particular, his growth as a man. His album is also being talked about as a response to Beyonce's iconic Lemonade album due to his talking about his infidelity and the emotional strain that it took on his wife. In the title track, he goes uncomfortably in-depth detailing the ways he has harmed her. He told iHeartRadio that the song 444 is the title track because it's such a powerful song, and he just believed it to be like one of the best songs he's ever written. The songs on the album all indicate that he's been very toxic in his relationship, and it may be worse than we all initially thought. There has also been loads of speculation regarding Jay Z having cheating on Beyonce. Now, although these rumors have been around for literally over a decade, Jay Z did finally put them to an end and confirmed that they were legitimate. The rapper spoke with New York Times Magazine that he was really going through it back in 2005, so much so that, he broke his vows. In the same interview, Jay Z said that, he struggled to save his marriage and empathize with Beyonce's pain. Now, he said, the hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you have caused and then having to deal with yourself. He continued to say, you have to survive, so you go into survival mode, and when you go into survival mode, what happens? You shut down all emotions. He also opened up about his cheating on David Letterman's show My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. Many people said he doesn't deserve Beyonce, and that, this particular episode seemed very much like it was completely scripted. The questions had already been established and talking points were already laid down before they ever even got on stage. Next, we have the elevator incident, of course. Now, this brawl after, the ball is one of pop culture fans, favorite memory that they'll never forget. Beyonce Beyonce, Jay Z, and Solange Knowles' infamous argument at a Met Gala after party occurred on May 5th, 2014, and quickly became like the hottest topic in entertainment. Fans couldn't believe the footage released from TMZ, which showed Jay Z arguing with his sister-in-law in the elevator at the Standard Hotel. Now, at one point, the surveillance video captured Solange, hitting and kicking the rapper while Beyonce silently just stood by. Although the whole night, there were virtually no signs of any issues occurring, everything changed when Beyonce first stepped into that elevator. As her younger sister, husband and another man trailed behind, Solange, you can see her slowly, cornering her brother-in-law before getting physical. While Solange, threw a couple punches and kicks in his direction, a man immediately reacted by hitting the emergency stop switch in the elevator and then proceeded to subdue her. After the incident, the trio released a joint statement saying they, had apologized to one another, they were moving forward, all is good. Now, in the months following the Met Gala incident, the power couple faced rumors that their marriage was on the rocks, and many people took this as the biggest warning sign ever, but ultimately, they did indeed make up, and all is seemed to be well, for now at least. Beyonce rented out an entire hospital floor for her pregnancy with Blue Ivy. Yes, that's right. Now, when Beyonce was set to deliver her first child, Blue Ivy, in January 2012, she reportedly rented out the entire hospital floor. She apparently paid $1.3 million to rent out the entire floor of Lenox Hills Hospital maternity ward. Now, while, we get Beyonce and Jay Z are huge names, of course, it seems slightly over the top, to occupy an entire floor of a hospital for childbirth. One new father actually told the New York Post he made 4 attempts to visit his baby twins in this intensive care unit, only to be turned away because, Beyonce needed her needs. She was using up the whole floor. The hospital has, of course, denied many of the reports about, special treatment, though a statement and a spokesperson said that the famous couple, were billed the standard rate for those accommodations. Yeah, right. Our executive, suites are available for any patient, including the food service and amenities provided to the Carter family. A rep for the hospital also said the hospital has been and still continues to be in control of managing all security at the facility. We have made every effort to ensure minimal disruption to other families experiencing the births of their own children over the past 3 days. That doesn't explain, though, the reported outrage being, vented by the Lenox visitors and patients. So, if the hospital did give celebrities VIP treatment, that inconvenienced others, that absolutely would not be okay. Whether Beyonce was unfairly favored or not, we'll just have to, file this one under medical mysteries. Speaking of Blue Ivy, another weird thing Beyonce did that many people thought was a warning sign of just more crazy to come was the fact that she and Jay tried to trademark Blue Ivy's name very early on. Blue Ivy may have been a big deal for Jay Z and Beyonce, but one person, actually a couple in particular, were not. But one of them, Veronica Alexandra, is the owner of Blue Ivy Events, founded prior to Beyonce's daughter being born. The couple attempted to trademark the name, however, they were denied. Now, Alexandra claims that she was happy, of course, with the outcome, considering they should not be able to trademark a name simply because they are famous. People honestly question why they would even want to have her name trademarked. Many speculated, though, that it was either to protect her daughter's name from any unauthorized use, to control the commercial and cultural, significance of her daughter's name, or to create a strong brand for Blue. However, after 12 years of legal, battles, Beyonce finally got the go-ahead to trademark her daughter Blue Ivy's name. A successful challenge against a Wisconsin-based retail store that was also using Blue Ivy's, name. Well, prior to that, it was since 2011. It worked in Beyonce's favor this time. Now, when opposing the previous ruling, which sided with the Wisconsin retail store, Beyonce's team argued that no reasonable consumer would ever suffer any form of confusion when encountering, the cited logo, which is used with one small shop in Fish Creek, Wisconsin. So, there's a population of about 997 people. No one's gonna get confused. After performing alongside her mother on the Renaissance World Tour and dancing with Beyonce at the Houston Texans vs. Baltimore Ravens NFL game on Christmas Day, which aired on Netflix, Blue Ivy has most definitely demonstrated her worthiness list of having her name trademarked. So if at first you don't succeed, just dust yourself off and try again. So congrats to them. Oprah advised Beyonce to keep her relationship with Jay Z a secret. Now, during Beyonce's rise to fame as a solo artist, she would frequent, the Oprah show quite often and became quite close to the queen of daytime talk shows. Now, they were actually so close that Oprah had told Beyonce to just keep her relationship completely private and a secret from the public. Now, in a 2003 interview with Oprah, Beyonce said she didn't want to confirm or deny rumors about her relationship with Jay Z. Everyone knew that Beyonce and Jay Z were like kindling a romance as they both rose up the ranks of the music industry. However, Beyonce wanted to keep some things private as she started to become a household name. And that included, of course, her relationship with Jay. Now, she said that she wanted to focus on her music and that talking about her relationship would make it more important than her art. She said, "I don't actually want to talk about who I'm dating, who I'm not, because I think it's important that I concentrate on the music. And when you start talking about those things, they become bigger than the art." Oprah recalled telling Beyonce, "Don't go around telling people who you're dating." Beyonce has said that Oprah's advice helped her to keep her personal life out of the public eye. While we get Oprah's good advice, it appears Beyonce didn't take it. And when that episode aired, many fans questioned the intention behind it and wondered if that was a sign of trouble in their starting romance, or if Oprah, knew something that the rest of us didn't.
Now, first up, we obviously have to talk about Diddy. Beyonce and Jay Z have been close friends with Diddy for a long time. They attended his infamous parties, and they even debuted some of their new music at these parties. Now, Jay Z met Diddy first and became friends in the 1990s, and they even collabed on songs together. They did concerts and fundraisers together and were seen as good friends. Then, Jay Z started dating Beyonce, but Diddy knew of the star before then, as she had attended some of his parties. At one point, the three of them were arguably the most powerful people in the music industry. They were always spotted at events together or hanging out, but with all these Diddy allegations and crimes he's been accused of, people are looking at Beyonce and Jay Z differently. Musical artist Jaguar Wright has spoken out calling both Diddy and Jay Z monsters. Now, she did an interview with Piers Morgan and made her feelings clear about the two stars. She asked Jay Z to speak out about the arrests, but she also added that there were thousands of victims in total when Piers asked how many there could be. Wright then mentioned Beyonce, saying she was supposedly involved in the unfair incidents that transpired over time. She went on to say that she has spoken with hundreds of victims whom she continues to assist. She has 3 victims who are willing to testify about what Jay Z did to them, as well as what he did to his wife. She went on to describe them as a nasty little couple and said they do nasty things, keeping people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane unconscious. There is a lot that people don't want to talk about. While there's no proof that Beyonce or Jay Z committed any crimes at these parties, we do have proof that they attended them. So maybe they are hiding something. Other celebrities and even fans have been begging the couple to speak out against Diddy, but they haven't, and it seems like they won't. A source close to the couple said what P. Diddy has allegedly done is just plain evil and they have nothing to do with it, but that's not stopping the assumptions people are making, the source stated. At first, they were taking the stance that it was better to ignore it, but they're now fighting back because they can't stand by and let their reputations get dragged in the mud over lies and conspiracy theories. Jay Z has ordered his lawyers to go after anyone trying to lump him in with P. Diddy with false accusations. That's why he threatened to sue Piers Morgan for giving a platform to someone spreading those baseless claims. He's not going to let it slide, the insider continued. Beyonce is behind him 100% and trusts him completely. She has been very quick to say they will take on this BS together, and he couldn't be more grateful. It's also been said that an audio's been leaked about Beyonce talking about Diddy and just pretty much everything that he's done. Now, there's a very good chance that it's just AI, but some people are believing it. It says, "My involvement in those parties was primarily for entertainment purposes. I had no idea about any of that terrible stuff going on. It is crucial to separate my presence at a party from any illegal activities that might have been occurring. I stand against exploitation and violence, so let's make that clear, okay?" Now, no one from Beyonce Beyonce's team has confirmed or denied this clip being real, but some people out there are believing it. Now, regardless if the audio is real or not, a lot of fans are also calling out Beyonce and want her to speak out on the situation and denounce Diddy and claim her innocence. But the fact that she hasn't done this yet has people concerned. That's not all though, as there are some theories going around claiming that Diddy helped Beyonce and Jay Z get rid of their competition in the music industry, which honestly wouldn't be that surprising. Then there's the fact that Beyonce has stolen a song. She sampled Khalees's song Milkshake and didn't give her credit. Now, Khalees actually called out Beyonce as well as producers Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo for sampling her 2003 single on the song Energy, and allegedly without her permission. My mind is blown too because the level of disrespect and utter ignorance of all three parties involved is astounding, she claimed via Instagram in July 2022. I heard about this the same way everybody else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some of the people in this business have no soul or integrity, and they have everyone fooled. Now, the next day she clarified, it's not about me being jealous of someone using my song. That's the dumbest, most ignorant thing I've ever heard. It has to do with the fact that from one artist to another, you should have the decency and common sense and the courtesy to call. Though neither Beyonce nor her team publicly commented on the posts, the sample appeared to be removed from the Spotify version of Energy in early August 2022, although it can still be heard on Apple Music. Now, not even addressing this or giving an apology is just icky. Then there was the whole cheating scandal. It all started in 2014 at the Met Gala when elevator footage leaked of Beyonce's sister Solange fighting Jay Z while Beyonce just stood there and watched. Now, they then put out a statement saying Jay and Solange each assumed their share responsibility for what has occurred. The May 2014 statement read, "They both acknowledged their role in this private matter that has played out in the public. They both have apologized to each other, and we have moved forward as a united family. At the end of the day, families have problems, and we're no different. We love each other, and above all, we are family. We put this behind us and hope everyone else will do the same." But it was rumored that Solange attacked him because of cheating rumors. Then, when Beyonce released her album Lemonade in 2016, she practically confirmed the cheating rumors, including the lyrics "Death to Side Chicks" and the infamous "He only want me when I'm not there, he better call Becky with the good hair." Now, this prompted fans to look for this so-called Becky. Their prime suspect was fashion designer Rachel Roy, who was married to Jay-Z's former friend and business partner Damon Dash from 2005 to 2009. Good hair, don't care, but we will take good lighting for selfies or self-truth anyways, Rachel wrote via Instagram the day the album was released, uploading a photo of herself and a friend, which many saw as confirmation that she was the Becky they had been searching for. Then her social media accounts were flooded with rude and disgusting comments, resulting in her decision to have her Instagram private until the situation blew over. Now, other fans claim the woman was Rita Ora, though we never got confirmation. In 2017 though, Jay Z admitted to cheating on Beyonce and said that they worked through it. Yep, in an exclusive interview with Dean Baquet for the New York Times, Jay Z admitted to cheating on his wife Beyonce while they were still married, blaming it on childhood issues. He stated the hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you have caused and having to deal with it yourself. You have to survive, so you go into survival mode, and when you go into survival mode, what happens? You shut down all emotions, said Jay Z regretfully. As the conversation progresses, he elaborates on the main reason he cheated. So even with women, you gotta shut down emotionally so you can't connect. In my case, like, it's deep, and then all things happen from there, infidelity. He went on to say that after numerous rounds of therapy and a persistent attempt to improve his marriage, the two overcame this and decided to stay together. But I don't know, once a cheater, always a cheater, right? Now, it's insane to me that someone would ever cheat on a woman like Beyonce, as she did so much for Jay and their family.
Want to work for Beyonce and Jay Z? Staying in shape, being bilingual, and signing a strict nanny rulebook are just a few extreme rules they'll demand from you. Is the pay worth the stress? Decide for yourself while we go over all of this and more. Starting off with the no eye contact rule. Staff members are reportedly forbidden from making direct eye contact with Beyonce or Jay Z. It was reported that when Beyonce was in Jamaica alongside her husband for a video shoot, the Jamaican staff that were hired for the shoot were deeply dismayed dismayed when they were instructed by Beyonce's management team that the rules included not looking at Beyonce. The hired staff were happy for the opportunity, but many said upon leaving the shoot, they were no longer fans of the singer. I'm not surprised. Next up, specific food requests. Beyonce allegedly demands a specific type of water with precisely 7.4 pH levels, and it was reported that she needed $900 worth of titanium drinking straws for it, and it had to be served at exactly 21 degrees. There is also a rule that Beyonce's chicken must be seasoned with garlic powder or she just won't eat it. She will only eat it if it's baked and seasoned with garlic powder, a little bit of salt, black pepper, and cayenne pepper. Now the trick, apparently, is to heavily season her chicken and only give her the breast, legs, and wings. Now, on the side of her plate, staff members also have to include some broccoli, spinach, and green beans. So this girl really loves her greens. Aside from her pH water, she will also only drink Pepsi products, which is probably why we've only seen her do Pepsi commercials. Staff also have to remember to make sure she has lemon wedges and hot tea. As long as the staff doesn't forget to chill half her water bottles, everything should be fine. Confidentiality agreements. This shouldn't really be a surprise, as most celebrities will have this in place, but Beyonce and Jay Z tell all their staff that they must be able to, quote unquote, keep a secret. All staff are required to sign NDAs to maintain the couple's privacy, and not following that rule could actually have very serious consequences. The staff are also not allowed to complain about their role or their personal life in any shape, way, or form. Now, Jay Z has told employees and staff that while they are on the job, there is not to be any talk about their personal lives. While working, everything should remain strictly business. It was reported that he even said, "There's too much work to focus on and you'll never get anywhere by complaining." They have both made it very clear that they will cut you off immediately, staff, friend, or even family. Another strict rule in place for their staff is that staff members are not allowed to work with Kimye, being Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Now, a few years ago, drama ensued between Jay Z and Kanye. The wives seem to somehow get in the mix too. Now, both rappers have been known to go back and forth at times, but up to this point, they had always mended their relationship. That is not exactly what happened here though. Jay Z sees Kanye West as a younger brother, but once he crossed the line and brought Bey into it, Jay was not having it. Kanye got on stage during one of his performances and basically made a shout out to Jay Z saying he should call him after all this time. Then he went further by calling out Beyonce for not performing beside him at the 2016 MTV Video Music Awards. Since then, the couple has had nothing to do with Kanye West and his wife, Kim Kardashian, well, ex-wife. Although Beyonce and Kim have never been friends, throughout the years, they've both been accused by the media of throwing shade at each other. When Kanye proposed to Kim Kardashian, the Carter family were nowhere in sight. Slowly, they began to separate themselves from Kimye, and they expect staff to do the same as well. Sometimes celebrity staff will work with multiple celebrities, and Beyonce and Jay Z don't mind as long as it's not Kim and Kanye, or any other celebrities they may feud with. Another strict rule in place is that all staff must read and sign the ultimate nanny rulebook for their children. Beyonce has a specific rulebook that she makes each nanny read. By the way, there are 6 nannies for the twins and 2 for Blue when needed. This rulebook includes how she wants her children to be taken care of. Beyonce, of course, wrote the rulebook herself. Why would she follow anyone else's advice, right? A few of the rules and duties of the nannies include mowing their lawn, putting their purses on the floor, not countertops, which honestly would be a deal breaker for me because if you know anything about superstitions, you know that is really bad luck. And also they have to take out the trash. Now, for the twins, each nanny works in a span of 8-hour shifts around the clock. When Blue Ivy was younger, she required 3 nannies as well, but now that she's older, they've employed 2 instead of 3. And to branch off of this, Blue Ivy must have 3 bodyguards for school, no questions asked. So Blue Ivy's entourage includes 2 drivers and 3 bodyguards. And when it comes to the twins, they are not allowed to nap to music. Beyonce feels the music, even if played quietly, could distract their sleep and cause them to have bad sleeping patterns. And speaking of nannies, another strict rule is the bilingual rule. All nannies have to be bilingual, preferably in French. Now, according to a source who's in with the Carter family, Beyonce and Jay have said that the nannies they employ have to be happy to travel the world with the Carters. I ain't mad at that, to be honest. I mean, who would be, right? And the other main stipulation, though, is that they have to be bilingual. This source said they want a French speaker for a number of reasons. The family have a real connection with France, and Beyonce's nephew Jules is a French speaker because his dad is French. Now, on Larry King Live back in 2007, before Blue Ivy was born, Beyonce was asked if she spoke another language since she recorded some songs in Spanish. Beyonce said, "I sure don't. I don't speak French either. I learned it phonetically and we took one sentence at a time. I just spoke the lyrics over and over and over again and then put the melody to it." Beyonce made it clear that she wants Blue, Rumi, and Sir to excel in life. So being bilingual is one of the dreams she has for all of her children. Now, another big rule is absolutely no photography. Staff members are not allowed to take photos of Beyonce, Jay Z, or their children, whether they're at home or not. Beyonce has also restricted photography at her concerts and on her tours, including banning professional photographers and limiting the photos media outlets can actually use. Back in 2013, Beyonce banned professional photographers from her Mrs. Carter Show World Tour. Instead, her management company provided media outlets with a limited number of pre-approved photos taken by her tour photographer. Now, this led to news outlets relying on amateur and paparazzi photos, which were often taken from a distance and in very poor lighting. Some photographers have gone on the record to say that Beyonce's no photo policy is threatening the First Amendment, and the National Press Photographers Association had a problem with that, saying it seems these days everyone is trying to control their own content. Eventually, if you have all the artists doing this, everything is going to be more controlled and less free. The whole idea of photography is seeing is supposed to be believing. Of course, Beyonce nor any of her representatives responded when asked questions about the policy, and it's still unclear whether or not news outlets actually have to pay to use the 4 to 10 photos available after each of her shows. But let it be made very clear, not one of those photos of Beyonce will show even one hair out of place or even a blink in her eye, okay? So moving on, we have the workout rule. Now, Beyonce's staff are absolutely not allowed to bother her while she's working on her body. Beyonce's fitness routine was very demanding after she had the twins. As soon as her body healed up, it was off to the gym, sometimes 3 times a day. Now, a source told E! News that she did Soul Cycle several times a week as soon as she got the clearance after her C-section. Now, she also worked out with a trainer at home doing cardio, intervals, and weights. Now, this source actually went on to explain all of her meals and diet were overseen by a private chef on staff who travels with them and prepares everything specifically for her. While Beyonce is busy getting her body back, her nannies are only allowed to bother her if it's an absolute emergency. If they bother her or disrupt her workout session, consequences could include a fine or worse, like dismissal. And to piggyback off of that last one, another strict rule is that all staff or their children must stay in shape since their kids have demanding schedules. Now, this one isn't very surprising, and this isn't a, discriminatory thing or anything like that. It's just a preference Beyonce has, knowing that the women pushing through crowds with her will have to be able to keep up. It's very common for nannies to go MIA due to health issues, and that is something Beyonce just can't have happen. It takes so much time to find, process, and acclimate a new hire, so it's best that each caretaker is in its prime, or in their prime health. Now, though Beyonce has 6 nannies looking after Rumi and Sir, they are with her all day, so while she's busy, she can still be a part of what's happening. Anyone who isn't in tip-top shape or excellent health won't even be considered for the job. I mean, honestly, each nanny gets paid like a minimum of $100,000 a year. I would stay in shape for that kind of money too, am I right? On the topic of money, it's no secret the Carters have a lot in the bank, and while they pay their nannies and staff pretty well, it is reported, however, that bonus money must be earned. Jay Z gave all of his employees $50,000 right before Christmas one year. But that's not all. Jay Z also gave them Christmas gifts as well. Combined, it's even reported that throughout the year of 2013, the couple gave staff up to $4.6 million in bonus money and gifts. If they live the lavish life, of course, maybe they want their staff to be a part of that too. Now, Beyonce and Jay Z have 80 employees across the board, so that's a lot of staff, so of course a lot of money too. But employees are, however, expected to follow every single one of the rules, no matter how ridiculous they may seem. If even one is not followed, you can expect to not get a bonus. You may not get canned or fired for it, but you won't get something extra around Christmas time or at the end of summer.
We were told that big names would start being linked to Diddy the closer we got to his trial, and now it's finally happening, with one lawsuit officially naming Jay Z. The suit was originally filed back in October of this year, but at the time it was just Sean Diddy Combs named. The other parties were referred to as Celebrity A and B. The woman who filed the suit has remained anonymous, so she is known as Jane Doe right now. In the original lawsuit, Jane Doe alleged that Diddy and an unnamed male celebrity took turns being inappropriately engaged with her without consent, while another unnamed female celebrity watched. The alleged events of the evening went as follows. In 2000, the young plaintiff attempted to sneak into Radio City Music Hall for MTV's VMAs. When she was unsuccessful, she met Diddy's driver. The driver told her to come back after the show, and when she did, he drove her to a house. We don't know whose it was, but it was described as a large white house with a gated U-shaped driveway. The plaintiff claims that once inside, she was presented with a non-disclosure agreement to sign. She then claims there was widespread use of substances at the party, and when handed a beverage, the substances were in there too. She attempted to find somewhere safe to lay down and entered an empty bedroom. The plaintiff alleges that it wasn't long after that the trio of celebrities followed and the horrible events of the evening began to happen, only stopping when she managed to strike Diddy. It was after this that she was able to escape and return home. However, as the lawsuit claims, the plaintiff fell into a deep depression which continues to affect every facet of her life. Diddy has denied these accusations, insisting he is innocent. At the time of filing, the lawsuit only named Sean Diddy Combs. The other parties, unnamed celebrities. This has obviously changed. Jay-Z's name has been revealed, though he also insists he never did any of those things. The Daily Mail obtained images allegedly from the same night that featured Jay-Z at the party. Of course, that doesn't prove he did those things, just that he did attend the event. But we still don't know who the female celebrity was. There are 1001 theories, of course, because that is what the internet is for, and many fingers have pointed to Beyonce. She is Jay-Z's wife, and the two have been together for literally almost as long as I've been alive, so you can see why people would throw a side eye her way. However, I would argue it's actually pretty unlikely that Celebrity B was Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce would not have been together at the time. They met in March of 2000 at MTV's Spring Break Festival in Cancun, Mexico, and the alleged actions were carried out that September after the MTV Music Awards. Beyonce and Jay-Z released a track together in 2018 called 713, in which Jay-Z raps about being interested in Beyonce since he met her when she was 18 and he was 30, but not getting together right away, as the pair didn't speak for 2 years after the first meeting. Beyonce also has said in past interviews that she and Jay-Z weren't romantically involved until she was 19, which again would mean that it's unlikely she was Celebrity B in the room, as that only happened roughly 6 months after the Spring Break Festival. Of course, even if Beyonce would not have been in the room when it happened, who knows if she found out later in the relationship, or right now like the rest of us. Until we get an official verdict or the case is thrown out, this is all speculation, and Jay-Z is actively working towards having the case thrown out. Kind of. Him and his legal team are calling for Jane Doe to reveal herself. He wants to know who is publicly accusing him. Jay-Z and his team claim that the accuser should not be allowed to tarnish his name while hiding her identity. His attorney said that if the Jane Doe isn't revealed, it would deny Mr. Carter the fundamental right to confront his accuser while simultaneously enabling plaintiff and her counsel to conduct a trial by media. In a Monday filing, Jay-Z and his legal team have called for a judge to order that Jane Doe either reveal herself or the lawsuit gets dropped. The thing is, Jane Doe likely has a good reason to keep her name a secret. Tony Busby, her legal representation, spoke on behalf of her and the over 200 clients with claims against Diddy that his firm represents, and explained why the pseudonyms are so important. He claimed that about 80% of those that he is representing have told the firm that Diddy had allegedly warned them to stay quiet or something bad might happen to them and or their loved ones. Plus, keeping your name out of the headlines also ensures that an average person isn't followed by intense press through what might already be a difficult time. Busby spoke to a federal judge Sunday where he stressed how important it was that his client remain anonymous. However, there's still so many other unanswered questions, like why did the suit only name Diddy originally and wait to release Jay-Z's name, and why hasn't the female celebrity's name been revealed at the same time as Jay-Z? Well, Jay-Z has given us some clues on his end. The rapper claimed that before his name was released, his lawyer received a letter about the suit. It was described as a pre-litigation demand letter. Basically, he's claiming it was intended to blackmail him. He alleges he was asked for money, but Tony Buzbee claims that mediation was requested, not funds. Buzbee responded to Jay-Z's claims in an amended complaint. He accused Jay-Z of conspiracy of harassment, bullying, and intimidation against plaintiff's lawyers, their families, employees, and former associates in an attempt to silence plaintiff from naming Jay-Z. So it seems like Jay-Z's name was initially hidden because they were trying to work things out privately, but it went wrong, and that's why he was added to the suit. In the event that the same steps were taken with Celebrity B as they were with Celebrity A, there's a chance that everything was settled behind closed doors. It's unclear if Jane Doe's legal team also would have taken the same route with Diddy, or if they would have just filed the suit because there were already so many allegations against him anyways. Jay-Z shared in a now deleted statement that the allegations are causing strain in his personal life, as his daughter, Blue Ivy, is old enough to likely hear about the information or have those close to her ask her about it. Plus, she's almost the age Jane Doe was when the alleged incident happened. In the same statement posted to Roc Nation's social medias, Jay-Z accused Jane Doe's representation of exploiting people for personal gain. He called the claims idiotic and wrote that the only people who would believe them are their network of conspiracy theorists and fake psychics. Somehow there is still more to this though. Buzbee claims that he expected Jay-Z to try to unmask Jane Doe and would be filing a response when the time was right. He also dropped another interesting tidbit. Apparently, he was sued in November by an unnamed male celebrity, John Doe. Since the first filing with Diddy's name happened in October, the timeline would actually line up for Buzbee to have enough time to contact Jay-Z's lawyer and then for them to sue in response. This is all alleged, as Buzbee doesn't actually know who it was. Buzbee did still relate that suit to the Jane Doe one though, saying he sued me under a pseudonym but files a motion to reveal the victim. Despite the high-profile nature of this case, Jay-Z is still out making public appearances with his family. He was spotted on a red carpet shortly after the news broke of the incident from the early 2000s. The red carpet in question was Disney's Mufasa. Who knows if Blue Ivy has been made aware of the situation yet, but likely Beyonce was. If her and Jay-Z are worried about the allegations, they do hide it well. The live-action prequel to The Lion King stars Beyonce and their daughter Blue Ivy, so that's why he was there to support his family. It is his daughter's big day. However, considering the circumstances, many people have shared online that they think he should not have gone, or at least stayed off the red carpet, that maybe he should have sat this one out. One ex-user said the rapper had nerve showing up like that, another agreeing with the response, no shame. Another popular rapper is even lending his keyboard to the drama. 50 Cent has been closely following the Diddy allegations and case and commenting at every chance he gets. Having Jay-Z roped into it all now, it was only a matter of time before a post hit Instagram. The post has been deleted now, but of course there are screenshots everywhere. He posted a picture of the family on the carpet with a caption that basically said, "Oh, I got accused of this really awful thing, time to go to the movies." And that's just like a really PG translation of what it actually said. It seems that the public loves 50 Cent for keeping it real. He does have a lot to say. He's even helping create a Netflix documentary about the Diddy situation. Netflix will stream it, and it will primarily be about Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, and one of the first and most public of the suits against the rapper. The doc will be an episodic series, and all proceeds will go to victims of inappropriate violence. 50 Cent confirmed the bidding war was won by Netflix in a since deleted Instagram post. He also claimed that if more victims kept coming out, he's going to need more episodes, so there's potential the doc will end up covering way more than it originally bargained for, especially since Diddy's trial hasn't even happened yet. It's set for a May 2025 start.
Jay-Z and Beyonce have been involved with some pretty shady things over the years, like attending Diddy parties and attempting to cover up crimes. They've been trying to hide it, but it's finally been exposed to the world. Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce's good friend Diddy was arrested this year for running multiple crime rings during his parties. Now, Beyonce and Jay-Z have stayed silent the whole time, never mentioning their so-called friend again. Now, Diddy has been accused of some pretty horrible things, but it turns out Jay-Z joined Diddy in a disgusting criminal act, and that Beyonce may have already known about it. Or worse, it's being speculated that she was there when the crime took place and didn't do anything to stop her future husband and their friend. Diddy has been accused of mistreating and taking advantage of many different people of all genders, ages, and located all over the United States. Tony Buzbee, the attorney representing more than 120 alleged victims of Diddy, disclosed that he had sent out demand letters to celebrities, asking them to pay up or face the consequences. Now, Tony had previously mentioned that investigations into Diddy's case had implicated several Hollywood big shots, but he refrained from dropping names. He also disclosed that he was going after other celebrities who attended Diddy's freak-offs, even if they did nothing wrong. In a new appearance on TMZ's documentary, The Downfall of Diddy Inside the Freak-Offs, Tony claims that such big names are as guilty as those who perpetrated the crimes, explaining that their silence and unwillingness to stand against it makes them liable. Now, after these comments were made, some people thought that Jay-Z could have been involved, and it turns out they were right. In a lawsuit that was filed in October, it claimed that Diddy mistreated and took advantage of a girl at an after-party for the MTV VMAs in the year 2000. It was said that Diddy did criminal acts with an unnamed male celebrity while another female celebrity just watched. On December 8th, though, the suit was refiled and it exposed Jay-Z as being that male celebrity. Tony said he was going to expose these celebrities, and it looks like the first person he chose was Jay-Z. Now, what was Jay-Z's reaction to all of this, though? He denied all of it, calling the victim Jane Doe a liar, and then he tried to play victim. Mr. Carter should not have to defend himself in the brightest of spotlights against an accuser who hides in complete darkness while leveling allegations that describe the purported acts occurring in the plain sight of witnesses who could refute the plaintiff's claims if only her identity was revealed, Jay-Z's filing stated. According to the lawsuit, Jane Doe's attorneys reached out to Jay-Z, aka Carter, to request a mediation, but alleges Carter responded to said letter by not only filing an utterly frivolous lawsuit, but also by orchestrating a conspiracy of harassment, bullying, and intimidation against plaintiffs' lawyers, their families, employees, and former associates in an attempt to silence plaintiff from naming Jay-Z, Tony Buzbee said. This effort was meant to scare plaintiff to discredit her counsel. That effort failed. Indeed, plaintiff chose to file this amendment as a result of the egregious conduct perpetrated by Carter, according to the lawsuit. Now, in his response sent to CNN, Jay-Z called the mediation request a blackmail attempt. Jay-Z also said this lawyer, who I've done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. Now, in a statement from Tony Buzbee, he wrote, "The pleading speaks for itself. This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Jay-Z then added in his statement that his only heartbreak is for his family. Now, CNN reported in November that an anonymous male celebrity filed a lawsuit against the Texas attorney representing Jane Doe, alleging he was the victim of an extortion scheme. The celebrity accused Buzbee and his firm of shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file widely false, horrific allegations against him. Now, attorneys for the unnamed celebrity claimed further that Buzbee had threatened to unleash entirely fabricated allegations if their client refuses to comply with their demands. But it appears now that this anonymous celebrity was most likely Jay-Z. Now, Buzbee denied the extortion claims against him in an Instagram post in which he wrote that his firm won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence survivors. And in a statement to CNN, he said, "If you are trying to hide your identity and you claim you did nothing wrong, doesn't seem very smart to take this approach," he told CNN in an email at the time. "We will address it in due course. I have confidence that with full public disclosure, all of this will sort itself out," he wrote. Now, he also responded on social media to Jay-Z's statement, saying that the alleged victim never demanded a penny from him, claiming they only sought confidential mediation. He added, "She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve." But Jay-Z isn't standing down though, and Beyonce has made it clear that she's standing by her husband. A day after the refiling of the lawsuit and the back and forth between the two, Jay-Z attended the movie premiere of Mustafa, The Lion King, which his wife and daughter have roles in. Now, this shocked a lot of people that he was out in public already. Sources with direct knowledge told the Post that before the allegations, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Beyonce were not planning to attend the premiere. However, they appeared to have a change of heart after the lawsuit. Beyonce forced Jay-Z to go to the premiere last night, an insider told DailyMail.com. They are working with a crisis specialist who is advising them on how to handle this. Beyonce believes the best way to face it is head on. on, and that's what they did. Disney, though, had other feelings, as an insider revealed that there was hesitation on Disney's side regarding the best way to handle it, given the events from the lawsuit. At the end of the day, it was Beyonce's call. They allowed her to decide how she thought was best to handle the situation. That's how much Disney trusts and values her. They added, and the way she wanted to handle it was to smile, put on a united front by standing by her man, but also celebrate her daughter. They were originally scheduled to do interviews on the carpet. However, after the lawsuit was filed and came to light on Sunday, it was quickly decided by both sides that there would be no interviews, only photos. Now, this isn't Jay-Z's first time being in trouble with the law. Just weeks before Jay-Z was set to release his fourth album in 1999, he ran into a bit of trouble at the album release party for fellow New Yorker Q-Tips Amplified. A man named Lance Riviera, CEO of the record label Entertainment, was present at this event. It was said that Lance was selling bootleg versions of Jay-Z's new album, and while at the party, Jay-Z caught a friend of Riviera's red-handed with an illegal copy of the album. So a fight ensued, and during it, Jay injured Lance with a sharp object. Jay-Z was then arrested and charged. However, after facing 15 years in prison, he entered a guilty plea and got off with 3 years of probation instead. Now, he would later address the altercation in a song. As the lyrics say, "Crazy how life works, you got a knot in your chest, imagine how a knife hurts, you stabbed Un over some records, your excuse was he was talking too reckless." Yikes, now that is just concerning. Now, it really does seem like Jay-Z and Beyonce are trying to use their wealth and fame to their advantage in this situation, which is honestly just icky. So what will happen with this case? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. The couple's friend Diddy has his trial set for May 5th, 2025, and there might even be more accusations against him and even Jay-Z before then. And just because Beyonce hasn't been named in any of these crimes doesn't mean she's not implicit in any sort of way. For now, though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Starting with the red flag we didn't know was a red flag until now, Jay-Z's close relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. These two have been buddies for years, spotted at multiple events together. They attended each other's parties. Jay-Z has appeared in Diddy's birthday recap videos a few times. The two men were close, and that used to be a good thing. Before this past year, Diddy was Hollywood royalty, a widely loved rapper known to be the party host in the 90s/2000s. His parties were extravagant and showed obvious wealth, so of course, everyone wanted to be there. The professor of hip-hop in the Global South, A.D. Carson, is currently teaching at the University of Virginia, and he used his expertise to explain Diddy's rise to fame. He even spoke on something he deemed the Diddy phenomenon. He claimed that because Diddy grew into a person that had a huge influence over black culture, it made him someone that other black celebrities wanted to be around, like Jay-Z. He continued with, rappers kind of operate with this symbolic value to people. That's the Diddy phenomenon. Of course, everyone wanted to attend Diddy's parties. The stories from them, at least the ones that celebrities told, were wild and made it sound like so much fun. But in the present, the rose-colored glasses have come off thanks to everything the public has learned after a series of lawsuits were filed against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing the rapper of multiple horrible activities. What used to be literally Hollywood's golden ticket has turned into the kind of place you hope no one saw you at. For those not caught up to speed on what's been happening, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested this year for forcing individuals into inappropriate situations without consent, forcing people to consume things they didn't want to, acting in a violent manner towards people, and more. He's not a great guy, is the moral of that story. Not everyone he engaged with was part of the age of majority either, which makes an already horrible situation worse. This comes after a series of lawsuits were filed against the rapper, with seemingly more coming every single month. But how does any of that even relate to Jay-Z? Well, remember when I said Jay-Z was a seemingly close friend of Diddy's? Yeah, that's making a comeback, bringing us to our next red flag. A lawsuit originally filed back in October by a Jane Doe claimed that she was inappropriately harmed at a Diddy party, and 3 famous celebrities were involved. One was Diddy, and the other 2 at the time of filing were unnamed, simply referred to as Celebrity A and Celebrity B. A was established to be a man and B a woman. The suit claims that upon entering the year 2000 VMA's after party, the young Jane Doe was given a non-disclosure agreement to sign and a drink containing inebriating substances. Doe alleges that when she attempted to find a safe place to lay down, she was followed by the trio of celebs. The suit claims that Diddy and Celebrity A took turns harming Jane Doe while Celebrity B watched. She was able to eventually escape after striking Diddy. The incident was years ago, but the lawsuit was almost 2 months ago now, and Celebrity A's name has been released. Allegedly, it's none other than Diddy's friend, Jay Z. We do not know yet yet who celebrity B was, but from the look of Jay-Z's statement, it seems like the plaintiff originally tried to work things out behind closed doors, then things went south. There's potential the female celebrity did work things out already or will be named once we get closer to Diddy's May 2025 trial date. Jay-Z and his family appear to be ignoring the situation at hand, or at least that's what it looks like. They were spotted on the red carpet Monday for the release of Beyonce and their daughter Blue Ivy's new movie, Mufasa. Since the news that Jay-Z was named and the lawsuit dropped, literally like a day before this appearance, people were quick to shame him for appearing there online. Many people were saying variations of, he should have sat this red carpet out. It was his daughter's big moment, so it's understandable why he would want to be there, but considering the circumstances, social media was pretty fired up about it. Photos obtained by the Daily Mail allegedly from the night of Jane Doe's traumatic experience do show Jay-Z partying the night away alongside many other famous faces. Again, since Jay-Z has not yet been found guilty and he denies the accusations, him being photographed at this party does not officially prove anything. Another thing that people might consider a red flag is the age gap between Jay-Z and Beyonce. It is pretty substantial as far as age gaps go, just over 12 years. The pair met in Cancun, Mexico at MTV's Spring Break Festival when Beyonce was 18 and Jay-Z was about 30. They were both there as performers. Well, Beyonce was still part of Destiny's Child, but the point is they would have been in similar settings to each other as performers. They also sat together on the flight back home to New York. So this is where they met, and we know that this is also when Jay-Z first thought of Beyonce in a romantic sense because he would later rap about it in a song. Again, she would have been 18 and he 30. The Carters later put out a collaboration together and one of the songs was 713. In this song, Jay-Z raps, "We played it cool at the pool of Cancun VMA. Confidence you exude, make the fools stay away. Me, I played my room, let the fools have they say. Fate had me sitting next to you on the plane and I knew straight away." He's making it pretty clear he was interested from the start. A defense for the couple's large age gap is that, despite seemingly always being interested, Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't start dating until later when she was older. Jay-Z actually confirms in the same song that after sitting together on the plane, they didn't speak until 2 years later. At the time, Beyonce was already in a relationship, so no moves were made until she had broken up with the other guy. The couple didn't even start dating right away, it seems. They were friends first. They didn't let the public know right away that they were an item when they were, but releasing multiple romantic songs together and making red carpet appearances was confirmation enough. In a later interview, Beyonce talked about the beginning of their relationship, sharing that she believes friendship is an important foundation for a romance. Just to have someone who you just like is so important, and someone who is honest. Up next is the elevator moment from the 2014 Met Gala. This changed the trajectory of everyone in that elevator's life. Beyonce's sister attacked Jay-Z in the elevator for reasons still unknown. It's clear they had a disagreement. The footage of that disagreement was leaked. We saw the fight. We just didn't have audio, so we actually don't know the details of what prompted the leap of fight. However, like anything, people have/had their theories, and many of them revolved around the rumor that Jay-Z was unfaithful. Cheating or the willingness to break the trust between a couple is generally considered to be a red flag, and cheating on Beyonce? What is happening here? Why would anybody do that? For a while, it was just speculation that Jay-Z had cheated until Beyonce's surprise dropped Lemonade. That in itself was iconic. No notice, just here you go, new music, new visuals, and also my husband cheated on me. Like, no chance to breathe there for the Bayhive. The album featured lyrics like, "You can taste the dishonesty, it's all over your breath," and the much more direct question of, "Are you cheating on me?" This was enough for the general public to believe that, yeah, maybe Jay-Z did somehow cheat on Beyonce. Throughout this era, Beyonce made divorce rumors pick up when she made several solo appearances. Of course, now we know the couple is all good because they are still married. I mean, now they do have a completely separate scandal to deal with though. Which, speaking of, with all these recent allegations against Jay-Z and his Monday appearance at the Mufasa red carpet, people are talking, even about just the things surrounding the man. Which means social media has a lot to say about his daughter, Blue Ivy, and the dress she wore to the Mufasa premiere. Some ex-users are saying the look, makeup, dress in particular, was too mature for someone who is not yet a teenager. Others are saying that it's literally just a pretty princess dress and to stop putting personal perceptions onto a young person like that. The other side is then insisting that we can't ignore that it's an odd fashion choice for someone her age and a huge red flag that her parents would let her wear something like that, especially after what her father was recently accused of. The disgusting current context, it is hard to ignore. However, Blue Ivy should not be the one to bear the burden of her father's alleged actions and the public scrutiny that comes with it.